I want to talk about that transition point because, you said that was like your hardest military mission ever, right? Transitioning. And I said this a couple of times on the show. I said, transitioning in any point in life is important, it's scary. Scary is the best word to say, and it's like anyone that's going into middle school or high school, that's a transition period, right? Going into college, retirement, switching careers, like all these things. And for you, SEAL for 26 years, that's your identity, right? And not to
100%.
mention, it's a totally different world. It's like, you're a complete alien in the civilian world because we operate way differently than you guys operate, and we have totally different mindsets. And I want to talk about what I thought was really interesting that I really want you to talk about on the show was the dirt dive that you talked about on your TED Talk, because you talked about that's where the magic happened, and you gave a example when you were doing it on a mission. But can you give like a different one so when people go listen to the TED Talk, they don't hear the,
Yeah. So the one that I did on the TED Talk was about a combat dive.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter where we are around the world. So the way that we prepare for a mission is we do all these workups, and then we go deploy, and then we have a mission that we're like, here, we have a target, go do this thing. So what we do is create the plan, and then we brief it to the men, all the enablers, we brief it to the headquarters, we brief it to everyone, so everyone knows what the mission is going to be, what we're going to go do. And then what we do is we go outside and we grab our radios, our headsets, we pull up the Humvees or whatever vehicles we're taking. We all get in the vehicles exactly where we're going to sit on the mission that night. And then we practice passing the pro words that we're going to pass over the radio so that everyone knows where we are. And we kind of talk through, like when we pass, alpha, 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 it means this, or bravo, bravo, or whatever the thing is. And that also lets us know in the vehicle where we are on the way to the target. So we'll drive the vehicles like maybe 10, 15 yards, 20 yards, and then we'll practice we'll stop them. We'll pass the word of getting out of the vehicle. We'll get out of the vehicle. We'll line up in a line. It's very, very elementary, very basic, just like we're going to do at night. But if you don't practice it in the daytime with no equipment, no danger, no nothing, you're definitely going to mess it up at night. So we get in a line and we practice walking to, like, we may have a pile of dirt or some pallets or something that demonstrate like the target area. And we walk up just like we're going to in order to that target area. And then we say, okay, break. And then the security elements go and stand in their position that they're going to stand. And the assault force goes and kind of stands on the pallets. We don't actually clear buildings or anything like that. Pass the next word. And then the vehicles come up and they position themselves as if they were positioning themselves on the target. And then we go through, what the calls that we're going to make on the target as if we're talking back to the headquarters, passing everything over the radio again so everyone can hear it. We talk through contingencies. What if? We poke holes in the plan. Well, what if this happens? Then we're going to do this. What if that happens? Okay, we're going to do this. And so we have a good idea if things go badly, what we're going to do. Then we practice getting a head count before we get back in the vehicles. So we practice everyone get in nice little straight lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or whatever the number is that we're working in little small teams so that we can see, because sometimes we rotate people in and out of different positions so that if I'm in charge of, this group of 4 dudes, I know who they are. I know that I have 4 dudes and, we all have, and we can have that communication prior to going out on the mission. And then we practice the vehicles getting back in a line just like they're going to leave, and then we get back in the vehicles and we sit exactly where we're going to sit, like where we sat, on the mission on the way in, get a head count before we leave, and then we drive back and again we finish the dirt dive, and we talk about it after we finish the dirt dive. Like, what about if this happens? What if that happens? So we continue to go over contingencies, but we practice everything in the daytime where things are simple. No one's shooting at you. No one's trying to kill you. No one's whatever. It's not hard right now. We can solve the problem right now while it's easy. And then when we go do the mission and things do go sideways, we've already talked about the contingencies. Everyone has reviewed the contingencies. And so we know about what we're going to do, even if things go really, really badly. We lose people, whatever happens, we still have an idea of what we're going to do and how to do it. So if you don't do this dirt dive prior to the mission, and it doesn't matter what you're doing in life, if you're transitioning between one job or the other, or getting married, getting divorced, getting whatever, having a kid, if you go into that with a plan and you practice doing that plan, it doesn't matter how bad things happen. you're much more able to respond to those bad things that happen because you've already practiced sort of this plan.